Hey guys, Justacarnerd here, and welcome back to another video. I have been doing many experimental videos lately. Car horn in the background. And before I start this video, I have a bunch of announcements to make. Okay, so first of all, I had posted in the past some videos regarding AI art, right? Obviously back then it was like 2023. I didn't know that AI stole art from other artists. Okay, so I called it AI art, which I apologize for. It's not completely art. It's not art at all. It's more slop. It's slop. We can agree on it, right? It's 2026. I agree that AI is more slop than art. There may be some good users, but that's a whole other conversation which I won't go into right now. Big debated topic. I am on one side of that topic, but whatever. Okay, so that is one thing, and another thing is my upload schedule, which is really non-existent. It's going to get a lot more worse. This may even be the last video I post for this year, and maybe we'll start the next year. I don't know. Okay, so I'm apologizing in advance for that. This will be the last full form video. Maybe some shorts will be there. Viewership increasing. Like, I want other people to see my older videos, so I may upload some shorts. But yeah, that is one thing. And a final thing is that I'm trying many experimental new videos recently. Like the Ghibli Khamsin Shamal, that 3-in-1 car history thing. I like that I tried to do that. It did okay, not as much as I would have hoped. But if you haven't watched the video, please go watch it after this video. Please complete this video. I want my retention to get better. I'm trying out ways to help it, but just please help me out on this. And few other things is, yeah, as I said, experimental videos. So you're to see some. What kind of two-stroke motor was that? Anyways, so you're going to see some more experimental videos on here. I'm not going to say soon, but it's going to be in the future. You may see more experimental videos on this here the future. And yeah, like, you're going to see more trucks and cars, maybe motorcycles, maybe not. I quite haven't figured that out. Maybe more list videos. I think that BMW list video may be very next on the list, but it's kind of hard to tell right now. So anyways, without much further ado though, we are going to be talking about, but there will be a little bit of ado. I'm sorry. Please remember to just like, share and subscribe. Okay, simple thing will take you like 5 seconds, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, so that's all. And without further ado, we will get into the video. And you have heard of like many Japanese, maybe some Australian, North American cars, and Euro cars. I've talked about Italian cars. I've talked about Japanese cars. I've talked about German cars. I've talked about American cars. And I'm going to soon talk about another European car company. I was going to tell you something there about the video, right? No. The next video is going to be on the European car company. Hint, it may be in another part of Europe than we usually talk about. Okay, we are going to be talking about an Asian car company, an Indian car company to be exact. Now, for people who don't, many people know, I won't talk down to you like that. I'll assume you are good at geography, because you are. Okay, so anyways, I don't mean to come off as insulting. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, we are going to be talking about an Indian car company. It is the Mahindra, and specifically we are going to talk about the Mahindra Bolero and how it has become the G-Wagon of India. And so without much further ado, let's talk about the Bolero. On to the video. To talk about the Bolero, we must first talk about the company which makes it, Mahindra. Mahindra, if you're not from India, Australia, New Zealand, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Philippines, South Africa, Australia, is an Indian company which was officially called Mohammed and Mahindra. Yeah, and its name was M&M, not chocolate company. Well, that was until the partition happened, where M&M became Mahindra and Mahindra. After partition, they licensed the American Willys Jeep as the Thar. That is also a noteworthy vehicle worth making a video on. And fun fact, it's also known as the spotted truck of India. It's just known as a vehicle which is not liked by many people. Okay, so let me continue on. Anyways, it was established in 1945 and it is one of the largest SUV manufacturers by production in India. And the Mahindra Tractor subsidiary is the world's largest manufacturer of tractors by volume. No, not John Deere and some other companies. It is the company Mahindra. Okay, so another fun fact is, apart from the car and tractor company, they also have a bus and truck division, and they now own Java motorbikes, Pininfarina, and a controlling stake in the SML collab. But we are not here just to talk about Mahindra. Oh no, we are here to talk about the Armada. Just kidding, but to talk about the Bolero, we must talk about the Armada. Well, this is because the Bolero was essential in Armada, but we'll get on to that. So what you need to know was the Armada was a sports utility vehicle and an MUV, a multi-utility vehicle based on the Jeep. You know, like those jeepneys or long Jeep buses that you see in the Philippines. It was something like that. Yeah, so it is also one of SUVs which coincidentally shares the name with the Nissan Armada, or the Infinity Armada, whatever they call it in the Americas. Okay, so also another fun fact, the Nissan Patrol was also sold in India under the name Jonga. I am not going to translate like literally what that means. It's an acronym. It's too long to talk about. Okay. In 2001, the Armada Grand was made. It replaced the normal Armada, and at the 2000 Motor Show in New Delhi, the normal Armada was replaced by the Armada Grand LX. Yeah, so the Armada Grand was made. The Armada Grand was soon replaced by the Armada Grand LX. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so as I was saying, right, the new car had a completely new design. Well, duh, I would hope the new car had a completely new design. Okay, so it had a new front end bodywork, independent front suspension, surprisingly for a really old model, on two-wheel drive models. Sad, but okay. A 5-speed manual gearbox, which was much improved, and better sound insulation. It was considered a more upscale model, even though it was missing simple features such as a windscreen defogger. Yeah, you know, like how they turn up the heat, the wind screen or the windshield loses all of its fog. Yeah, it was missing that. And also it went on sale in August 2000, where it was decided that the name would be changed from Armada Grand LX to Mahindra Bolero. So to just clear things up, the Bolero wasn't the complete replacement for this car, as the Armada pickup and Armada bulletproof state security and anti pew pew who shoot unlife people thing. You know, where you tear a wrist. Right, I don't know what YouTube blocks these days and what YouTube demonetizes, so just to play it safe, we're going to be saying that versions, or the bulletproof state security versions, you could also call them, which are sold alongside the Bolero. Anyway, so enough about that. The Bolero was not the only car in the SUV and MPV segment. It had its biggest competitor, the Tata Sumo, and the Toyota Qualis, which surprisingly many people do not know about. Yeah, The Toyota Qualis was like a very special Southeast Asian version. I do they sell the Qualis now? I don't know. Anyways, let me know in the comments if they do sell the Qualis now, because last I heard of it, there was like third gen back in 2014, which is like 12 years ago. Oh my god. Anyways, so what was that? Was that? And so the Mahindra Bolero had its competitors, but fun fact about those competitors: you cannot buy a Toyota Qualis in India right now. You cannot buy a Toyota Qualis, I don't think, in general. You cannot buy a Tata Sumo or a Safari, which was also sort of a competitor, but not really. Anyways, Safari is I like the Tata Safari, okay? If you have never seen the Tata Safari, check it out. Genuinely cool car. Okay, it's too much sidetracking here. So, as I was saying, the Bolero beat its competitors, and it also came with some very interesting engine options, which I will get to right now. So the initial launch of the Bolero had a 2.5-liter turbo diesel from, guess who? Yes, Peugeot or Peugeot. It's difficult to pronounce them French cars. Okay, I'm going to go with Peugeot. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the guys with some really cool rally cars and an equally cool badge. Anyways, the engine made 75 grand Marwadis. That's a horse breed. Don't get offended, okay? However, you could option turbocharged versions with or without an intercooler, raising power to a fairly respectable 94 to 100 horses. Well, this is a diesel after all, and horsepower isn't its strong suit. What we are looking for is torque, and it did have some very good torque numbers. It was at about 180 to 200 Newton meters of torque depending on the engine you chose, but that wasn't the only thing the Bolero had up its sleeve. It was and is a Swiss army knife that can still do many things, and it could do many things still at the time. Remember the title of this video, the G-Wagon of India? Well, keep that in mind, okay? Put a pin in that because it will be important later on. The second generation was released in 2007 with a slightly modified exterior, a larger grille being the most obvious change, and the major change was the engine, a 2.5-liter, 150 cubic inch, in-house turbocharged direct injection diesel engine from Mahindra, now with an output of a grand 71 horsepower. By now, the Bolero was becoming steadily a favorite in rural and urban parts of India. I myself have and had carpooled in a second-gen Bolero for a very long time actually. Some takeaways from my first-hand experience is that never underestimate the seating capacity of the Bolero. You see, Mahindra had advertised the Bolero as a 7-seater MUV, but you can easily fit double that number in there. Yes, 14 to 15 people, more if you were under the age of 16. All these people could easily fit in the Bolero. The front seat could easily accommodate 3 people, excluding the driver. And many people on the internet say that the leaf springs don't give the Bolero any comfort. That, I would say, is wrong. I have never felt more comfortable riding in that Bolero. Okay, I think it would be more comfortable than my friend's XUV 700. 700. Okay, that's not a mockery to the XUV though. Far from it. Just shows that the Bolero is just that good. Okay, enough glazing the car, and let me get on with the hard facts. The simple fact was that the Bolero was affordable to buy, starting at 5 lakh rupees, which is $5,500 or 4,700 euros, by the way, and affordable to maintain with 2.5 to 6,000 rupees, only about $30 to $60 or 24 to 60 euros annual service cost depending upon the mileage and how you drove it. Additionally, the time and effort spent by the company to ramp up its after-sales service with its Armada and other release models was a boon. Yeah, especially in the rural areas. Hence, every second MPV or utility vehicle you see in India today is a Bolero. In September 2011, the third generation Bolero was released with more thoroughly redesigned front with jeweled headlamps. In India, it is powered by the 62 horsepower M2D ICR or M2 Diker diesel engine with a soft turbo mated to a 5-speed transmission. This latest engine meets the Bharat 4 emissions or the European Euro 4 standards. But fear not, as you can still option the M-Hawk 75 engine with the same 75 horsepower but 10 more Newton meters of torque over the original. This is far from the end of the Bolero story, as we have the variants. And how many variants there were? Well, where to start? Hmm. Well, let's start with the Storm VLX, shall we? This was the highest power variant with that 100 horsepower 2.5 liter turbo diesel in the original. There was the XL with expanded seater capacity. But it doesn't end there. Oh no. The Bolero pickup is one of the staple pickup trucks of India with 1700 kilogram payload capacity still going strong. What are the other staple pickups, you may ask? Well, that would be Tata Xenon trucks, your Tata Yodhas, and the Isuzu D-Max. Yeah, those are all of them. Anyways, the Bolero pickup truck, as I was saying, had a 1700 kilogram payload capacity and is still going strong, offering unmatched utility at an unbeatable price. Then the five-door version of that was the camper, but that had a shortened bed. While there was another variant that was discontinued soon after the second gen Bolero. That was the Bolero Invader, okay? And the Bolero Invader is a very rare Bolero, but I'll get to that right now. But I should tell you some things about this car, okay? The car had a Borg Warner 4x4 system with manual shifting, and some of the older variants did as well. Also, you could like get in a short wheelbase, which was basically a Jeep Wrangler, which was a short Jeep Wrangler. Okay, unfortunately, you can't get any new Boleros with 4x4 capabilities, which is really sad. The only option that Mahindra gives the Bolero right now is rear-wheel drive, but don't let that fool you. The Mahindra Bolero still can conquer mountains in many mountainous regions such as the Himalayas, Darjeeling. Many mountain cabs are still Boleros. Okay, one final variant, though it is not much of a true Bolero, I would say, and that is the Bolero Neo. It is basically a TUV 300 with a larger M-Hawk 100 engine, having 260 Newton meters of torque and the same 75 horsepower. Oh, and an optional manual locking diff. Okay, so why did I call this thing the Mahindra Bolero the G-Wagon of India? Well, the true reason is, like the G-Wagon, the Bolero has been used everywhere, and I mean everywhere in India. Need an ambulance? Boom, drive a Bolero. Need a food truck? There you go, Bolero. Need a police car? Boom, Bolero. Need a car to transport you and your family of 12 to a wedding? Bolero. Need a car to run your carpooling business? A Bolero for you. Need an armored truck to transport cash? Bolero. Need to transport your private security team? Bolero. Need an armored car to fight against terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir? Bolero. Even for enthusiasts and people who want to live the van life, the Bolero camper is there with some awesome camper van conversions. There is even a refrigerated box truck, for God's sake. Go wild with it. Now, after hearing all this, if you think the Mahindra Bolero is a very awesome and cool car, but you do not live in India and you still want to buy one, well, don't be sad. Mahindra has got you covered if you're in Bangladesh, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, and many other places that I mentioned at the start of the video. If you're American, well, that's sad, but you could get the Mahindra Roxor, a pretty awesome little side-by-side, and well, no, not the Thar yet, but let's see what happens, okay? The only thing the Bolero doesn't have on the G-Wagon is engine power and the status that people associate with the Merc. Otherwise, it's a car that started like the G-Wagon, hauling supplies on farms, but still beloved by all. And what I'm essentially trying to say is that the brand does not matter at the end of the day if you have the ingenuity and the grit to succeed. And well, okay, that got weirdly philosophical and motivational at the end, and I don't usually do that. Anyways, that is the video, guys. Remember to drop a like, share, and sub again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.